And it's the dumbest bill in America, and of course it's from the state of California.
Oh.
What a surprise. And the state of California has decided that it is going to pass a bill to allow commercial tenants to terminate their leases early. So if you have a restaurant or a business or an office and you have a lease, California is going to say, well, if you have less than 500 employees, doesn't sound very small to me, we're going to allow you to terminate your lease early. Because of the pandemic. Folks, look, I get it.
I don't know how that works.
I get it. I understand that there are a lot of folks out there who can't open their businesses up because they're being told in California, because California has just shut down the economy again, and you can't, but they're making things worse because now the owner still has to pay the bank for the mortgage. Where's he going to get the money from?
Yeah, see, and this is what's weird to me is because when you talk about contract law, now I'm not a lawyer yet, but
you're going to law school. You play one on TV.
I play one on TV, yes, and I have a great mustache to go with it. Call me Tom Selleck. Anyways, when talking about a contract between a commercial space and a leasee, I don't understand how the government can just walk in one day and tell one party that their contract is effectively
getting in the middle of a
voidable.
Contract.
Yeah, in the middle of because it's independent of the government and it's enforceable strictly by the court. And I don't understand how So
it's a great point.
To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that a third party
government caused the problem. Now government's making the problem even worse by causing foreclosures
and I just
people
don't understand
that own
how
the
that
property.
third party has any right to be involved.
They're collapsing the economy intentionally.
Yeah, if you think there's going to be issues with people staying afloat in terms of businesses, in these spaces, could you imagine the provider? How many? Well, Mark, that might be what they want. They might want a lot of these public buildings to go out and be able to seize them by the banks and buy them.
I think that California is doing this on purpose because the secret to getting back the House of Representatives is to flip those 7 seats that flipped in 2018, flipped to the Democrat Party, and they're trying to kill the economy in California so that Congress cannot go back to the Republican Party, and this is the way you do it. And look, here's the thing. When the government gets involved in these contracts, what it does is it eliminates the ability of people just to talk to one another. So let's just say you have a lease and you have a restaurant or you have a gym or whatever you have and you've been hit really hard by this pandemic. You cannot pay your rent.
Yes.
What you would normally just call your landlord and say, hey, look, here's the thing. If I move out, there's nobody moving in because there's not. There's nobody moving into the space because the economy is so bad and they can't open up anyway because the restaurant's closed or the gym is closed. So can we do a workout whereby we extend my lease for an additional 10 years and we add an additional $150 or $500 or whatever it is, or I pay it at the very end of the lease in 10 years. Yeah. Whatever can we do a modification? That's what it's called, a lease modification. When the government gets in the middle of contracts, it eliminates the ability of people who are the ones who are in charge, good thinking people, to negotiate with one another to do a workout. And if you have a jerk for a landlord, you probably shouldn't have been leasing from them anyway, to be honest with you, because I get it, there are a lot of bad landlords, but California is going to make this situation much worse.
I can't even begin to think of what economic consequences there would be from just allowing people to void contracts.
Mandating the ability of a tenant to terminate its lease early. That's really what this is.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on this.
And a lease that you weren't, forced into signing. You did it voluntarily. You took stock of your business. You signed a lease based on your accounts receivable, and you live there and you work there.
Well, here's a workaround. Why doesn't government instead in California do a tax credit for people who have leases and they can't pay? So let's just say, hey, look, guys, here's the good news.
Well,
when you start making money, when you open back up and you start making money, we're going to actually give you a tax credit for the value of your lease so that you can pay your lease instead of paying the state. And we, the state, we're going to be the ones to take the hit because we're the ones that shut you down.
Well, Mark, California is on a revenue hunt right now, looking to
They always, just like every other woke state, woke blue state.
Yeah.
So that's the final word for Mark and the Millennials. Thank you for joining Mark and the Millennials. This is Mark Fisher. Thank you to our millennial, Garrick Ross, and Stephen Miller for joining us, of course.
Our in-house audience.
And of course, Adam Couture, our producer, and our assistant producer, Christopher Hopkins. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and our website. See you next time.